And okay, so this is a quick little training on a Sunday night. And I was listening to, I sent it to Eliana, that the girl who was a millennial, she was doing the training.
Mhm.
That was awesome. Because young people, now I'm not saying old people can absolutely join this business because I'm old and I'm in it. but young people are so like motivated to not, like they don't want to have a boss necessarily telling them, my son doesn't get his schedule till, a day before for the whole week.
Yeah.
It's never, anyway, it's just, and then this is how much you make, $7.50 an hour. And then you got to depend on the tips. It's just, what,
Yeah.
your time is worth more than that. So anyway, in this business, we do 4 things, and they all start with S's. We schedule. So we schedule like this. We schedule a coffee appointment with someone. We schedule getting a few people together so you can share information about Arbonne, like whatever you want to schedule. You schedule an appointment to meet someone and give them some products to try. So you're scheduling stuff all the time. The second thing you're doing is sponsoring people or selling. Like if people don't like the word selling, but basically you're selling all the time. Like you're selling people on an idea, or you're selling your parents on why you need to get a better car. I don't know, whatever. You just always, so it's like what you're doing is recommending products and sharing your enthusiasm about them. And when people go on and buy products, that's how we get paid. You're also sponsoring people because you want to have other people working with you, so that that's going to free up your time more, so you can do more of, whatever God has placed on your heart to do with your life. Like if you could just focus on that and then not have to be so stressed about money all the time, that's just like, it just gives you breathing room, And then we serve people. Like how can we help other people? Like, do people need help with their weight and health? Do people need help with, does their little kid have eczema and suffering with that? And we've got a solution for that. Do people need an extra income, or if somebody just had a baby and they want to be home with their baby? Like, how can we serve people? And maybe it has nothing to do with Arbonne, but you just have to have like a servant heart, when you're thinking about helping other people. And so most of the time people are looking for jobs, not opportunities. So jobs are not an asset, because if you stop working, you stop getting paid. So with this is something you'd never do this full time, because it doesn't take all your time, but it's something you do alongside whatever else you're doing, so that you can build an asset, because an asset pays you over and over and over. A job, once you stop, then the paycheck stops. But with this, if something happened to me, people would still be shopping on my website because I sign them up as shoppers. People would still be building a business because, I help people get started with that. And Arbonne would continue to send, at the second level of management, your paycheck to whoever you designate as your beneficiary. So that's something super valuable that you want to, unless you can like buy an apartment building and get rent from people, or write a song and every time it's put on the radio you get paid over, like to get paid again and again and again, there's not a whole lot of things you can do to create that. But a business like this does create that. So that's why we want to show people something valuable, that maybe they're not looking for an opportunity, they're looking for a paycheck right away, and they might have to do that to get a paycheck right away, because this doesn't give you a paycheck right away necessarily, but it's something that over time builds to something way more than a regular job could pay you. So there's a few secrets to success, and I just want to go over them really quick. One is to be coachable, because you've never done this before. So someone who's been doing it before, telling you how the business works, and doing Discover Arbonnes with people, like kind of dressing the part for, just like being professional. Even if you're 18, 19, you can totally be an entrepreneur at that age, and people will be drawn to your confidence and your enthusiasm. The second thing besides being coachable is working consistently, even if the outcome is not what you want. Regardless of the outcome, you work consistently. So I always tell people, like, don't focus on what you can't control. Just focus on what you can control. Just putting people, it's like you have a funnel and you're putting people into the funnel and you're just telling people the story, and then you're sharing products with people, you're sharing the business with people, and that's all you can control, is not their response, but just your activity of telling people about your business and offering the business to everyone, without prejudging. You know, there's some people who are like this one person. I didn't want to share the business with her because she was super successful and had plenty of money. But little did I know, like, she didn't have time at all. She was so stressed. Her kids were in daycare till like 7 o'clock at night. And anyway, she needed something that would give her flexibility and time. And that, so she was super happy to hear about it. And then another thing is minding your mind, because boy, 98% of this business is in your mind. So if you're reading books, if you're in the Word and really like taking every thought captive, if you're spending time around quality people that build you up, if you're just like focusing on like whether you think you remember the saying, whether you think you can or you think you can't, you're right. You know, if you believe you can do something, you absolutely can. And what you speak to yourself. Like I always think of that verse, the power of life and death is in the tongue. So if you don't say like, well, I hope, well, if this happens, well, I'm going to try, like take those words out of your vocabulary. Hope, if, and try, and instead say when I promote to regional vice president, I will do this. I will share this with everybody. I am going to show other people how they can have freedom in their life and pour into other people and serve them. So those are really good things to remember. And then just remember, we're supposed to be salt and light. So just don't be like cautious and careful when you're sharing. Just like you share your testimony, you want to share something that's made a difference in your life. And if this has blessed you in any way, you want to give that gift to other people, and the other people can say no, that's totally fine. The only thing you can control is that you offer it to them. And because people are looking for a way out. People are looking for something, you know, and we have the answer. Well, Jesus is the answer, but we also have this practically speaking, an opportunity that could be an answer for them. And so one other thing is the rejection. People are like afraid of that, and that will happen. So just know it in advance. People are going to reject you. But that lasts just a minute. But being afraid of rejection lasts a lifetime. So don't be afraid of it. Expect it. And a lot of times if we're scared of rejection, we're thinking about us, like how it's going to feel. We always want to think about the other person. Always take the other person into consideration. Like, what are their needs and how can you help them? And just like, other people might be like skeptical about what you're doing. Well, don't ever let your light dim just because it's shining in someone else's eyes. Okay? Just shine your light and be brave and proud and confident. And you need to want your dreams more than you want to be comfortable. So that was a tough one, because like this definitely takes you out of your comfort zone for sure. So you just want to focus on the goals and dreams that God's put in your heart. Don't worry about the uncomfortableness that comes along with it. That's okay. It just really strengthens you as a person and builds up your faith. So that's kind of like what I wanted to share with you guys to encourage you. And did you guys have any questions at all? Before I stop.
I don't think so.
Okay.
What was the last point you said?
You need to want your dreams more than you want to be wanted.
Okay.
Yes. And I'm gonna. Are you good on social media, Adria?
Yes, I do have social media.
Nice. Well, that's how girls are building this. We just had this challenge today. Me and Eliana and another friend and a couple of us.
She knows her, Haley.
Yeah, I actually watched you guys a couple days ago. Like you did a live or something.
Yeah, that's cool.
Yeah. So I was like, oh my gosh.
See, that's awesome. Well, yeah, I'm just starting to get used to doing those lives on Instagram, and it's amazing. Like if you were to depend on the people that you come in contact with every day, there's no way you could talk to 5 people a day. But we put this challenge out. Eliana, was it you who said the challenge? It was
Haley.
Haley, okay.
Mm-hmm.
5 people a day on social media. there's a million people on social media. To find 5 people to reach out to in a day, you can easily do that, especially if you're copying and pasting messages. And so I put some things to say in my page on Facebook. So Eliana, you found that. Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's there. And if you come up with something brilliant that you want to share, like that's what we do. We share things with each other so that we can all learn stuff.
Yeah. And the cool thing about this company too is like we're not supposed to sell things. We're just sharing our life basically and showing us using products that we actually love using. So you're not like, I had someone say like, oh, I'm not good at selling things.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I didn't want to go in depth about it because I was about to go to church, but yeah, it's not even selling things. It's just sharing about the products that are good for you. And like, you don't have to sell. You can literally take a picture with your Arbonne water bottle basically, and people will ask questions.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yes. And that's a very good point, Eliana, because when people say I don't sell, I'm like, good, thank goodness, because I don't want anyone on my team that sells, because nobody likes to be sold, but everybody likes to shop. That's a fact. For good stuff. Yeah. And so, yeah, if you're not a salesperson, that's awesome. Like, I'm a teacher. I was a teacher, forever. And then I homeschooled my kids. So I don't know anything about selling. And I just feel like I'm teaching, like I'm educating people on stuff. I did not know any of this stuff. I didn't know there was gluten in lotion. I didn't know there was cancer causing stuff in like protein powder. I didn't know heavy metals and toxins. I didn't know anything about that stuff. And so now the stuff I'm learning has helped me live a healthier life. And I just want to help other people live a healthier life. So it's definitely just sharing and teaching.
Yeah.
Very cool.